A motto, a message, a lesson, a beat, a rhythm that jumps and bounces uniquely, individually in harmony with my brethren from senior to freshman. A motto, a motto, silently killing them softly with a smile, a sway, and sachet that screams my name, aTone. A motto, a motto.
Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the channel. I am aTone. This is aTone Tarot. What's up, Sagittarius? Welcome to your message. I'm here to deliver from your future, younger, and higher self. So I'm going to go ahead and get up into some housekeeping items so we can get to this message. To my new viewers, welcome to the channel. Returning viewers, welcome back. I greatly appreciate you. If it don't apply, let it fly, Sag. That's first and foremost. Take what resonates and leave the rest for someone who may need it. And if you could, please go ahead, smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Your girl would greatly appreciate it. Now that we got those things out the way, let's go ahead and get into your message. For your future self, I'll be tapping in via the Kipper, pulling 5 cards. I'll hop over to the tarot, pulling 10 cards to find out what your younger self wants you to know. And I'll close out your message with my Inner Wisdom Compass Oracle to deliver that higher self message to my Sagittarius collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what Spirit got for you guys. I hope all is well. Welcome to the spring season. Five cards, please, for my future self. The future self of my Sagittarius. All right, Sag. Let's see. You receive pathway, main male, wealthy man, poverty, courthouse. All right, so your future self wants you to know, for some of you, don't let a sucker ass nigga trick you out your bag, Sag. You have worked long and hard to acquire the amount of success, wealth, and just growth as it relates to your finances. I'm not picking up on you guys being mega millionaires, but you have come a long way. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. And be careful of someone who has nothing to lose to take everything you have, Sagittarius. Be mindful of that in your temper, in what and who you entertain and allow access to your energy, Sag. Your future self wants you to know you have come a long way to where you are now. You are comfortable. You probably have a couple extra dollars in the bank. And like I said, a sucker ass motherfucker that ain't got shit to lose will come through and just troll on you if you allow it. Maintain this level of awareness of self and don't worry about what other people might say about you. Embarrassment, things like that, your ego, your pride, your manhood, your womanhood, all of that. You know, people embarrass us and get us in certain moments and they can trigger us to say and do things that cost us way bigger than the person throwing shade. You know what I mean? Like, just be mindful. This is the message from your future self to be careful and conscious of the company that you keep, how much dialogue you even give to a conversation with people, because someone could be playing the long game with you, Sag, as far as trying to take something from you that you work very hard for. Yeah. And intuitively you will know, but it may be difficult to stop yourself in that moment and check and correct yourself in that moment. And this also could be a message in the inverse that you, Sag, play the long game with somebody that thought they could play with you, right? I'm also picking up on a very sophisticated, intellectual, well-grounded, well-resourceful, strong network of Sagittarius who can make somebody's life very uncomfortable if they so choose. So for my cross watchers out there, this might be your future message that playing around with a Sag is not what you want to do, because they have the resources to make someone impoverished. So if I were you, I would tread lightly with this Sag. All right. So that is the message from your future self. Let's move on and see what your younger self wants you to know, Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. That was a direct, clear message, if I do say so myself. Somebody gonna find out the hard way that, fighting and bickering and arguing is one thing, but when we get to that paperwork and the legal system and I start tapping your pockets, oh, that pain is a little different. That lesson lasts a little longer. But, I'm picking up on some Sagittarius who are about to be knee deep in some legal battles just to make sure that they can sustain and keep what they've earned and acquired thus far. So hang in there, Sag. And it seems like you here for it, because ain't nobody about to play or take anything else from you. But I digress. Let's find out what your younger self needs to know right now. Ten cards, please. It's a lot of struggle and some loss, some things you want to keep hidden and not necessarily out there like that, Sag. I understand. I get it. Two more cards, please, for my Sagittarius as it relates to the message from your younger self. All right. Let's get up into this message. Sag, you receive the Empress in reverse, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, as well as the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm speaking to a Sagittarius collective who had some fun with their siblings growing up. I'm picking up on a girl and two boys, or a boy and two girls as it relates to the siblings. So it was three of you total. You had quite a bit of fun. There was some teasing. At one point, your mother and father were together. This is a blended family, meaning that there's some people like to call it stepchildren, but I have sisters where the fathers we don't have the same fathers. And some people like to call that out as step siblings. But in my book, if we all came from the same womb, we siblings. Straight like that. There's no, But, and I have a scientifical foundation for that reasoning as well, Sag, but I digress. So this is womb siblings, but fathers may not all been the same in the household. Here with these Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles is giving some, we're all together, but there is a little bit of division. There is a slight difference here. For some of my Sages, to my female Sages, with this Empress being in reverse here, some of you may have lost a child at a young age. So my condolences to you that has followed you, and that child wants you to know that they protect you. They oversee your heart, your thoughts. They're with you always, Sag. So that's for some of you. Don't force it. But yeah, as it relates to the message from your younger self, the gameplay and the time that you had as a child, think back to the interaction, engagement with siblings. That will help create clarity for present day and how you interact, Sag. That is the message that I'm being called to deliver to you. So with this Queen of Cups being here, it's as if a maternal or paternal figure oversaw children, that they didn't step in when the children were possibly arguing, fussing, fighting, teasing each other. The parent might have felt entertained by these children doing this. However, there was some insecurities possibly seeded by way of these teasing conversations for some of you. So go back in time, Sag, to that time and how you interact with siblings, cousins when you were young, like let's say between the ages of 8 and 16. We'll go from 8 to 16. That time period matters because it helps shape how you engage with individuals today, maybe even calling out some of your triggers. So this will help with that future message that I got for you when I said, don't allow people to bring you out of character. Sag, someone brings you out of character and it may cost you. So you may need to get up underneath why and where those triggers are coming from. And it looks like that message from your younger self is saying those triggers and traumas and issues and difficult things or things that you question inside of you stem from interactions and from your childhood that you might have dismissed as just play, when it has deeper meaning to it than you may think. So let's move on to your higher self, the message from your higher self, Sag. And if you haven't done so already, please go ahead, smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. I don't think you guys' message was long at all. I don't even have a timestamp here. But the message is the message. I do not try to force it. And it ain't over. It ain't over to the fat lady, what they say, sing, I guess. One more card, please. And there it is. Here we go, Sag. So your higher self wants you to know, with self-centered vices, speak your truth, conqueror, and no mud, no lotus, that again, what you have survived, what you have come through, it looks a certain way out on the outside, Sagittarius, to people reviewing what they think you are. Some think you are self-centered. Some think you think the world revolves around you, but people would probably not realize that that's not anything further from the truth, or it's a defense mechanism that my Sages are putting up in order to hide and disguise and avoid speaking your truth, right? Because if you show up with a certain air and you don't have to say anything and you allow people to assume what they like, then you get to escape the responsibility of having to let people know sometimes what it is. I also, while I was channeling and shuffling, when Speak Your Truth came out, I heard speak your truth. Don't yell it. You don't need to yell. You don't need to scream. You don't need to argue. You don't need to fight. You are already a conqueror. You're already a survivor. You know it innately. It resonates from the inside out of your being, Sagittarius. No mud, no lotus. You wouldn't be where you are if it wasn't for some level of grit, grind, and fight inside of you that had to show up. Some of you, your vices are your rigidness to some degree, is what I'm picking up on from my Sages. You just are locked in, and this is what it is. No more, no less. You don't allow room for other perspectives sometimes when you have vices such as extreme discipline, dogmatic postures is what I'm trying to get at, Sag, right? Discipline is cool. Commitment is great. But be mindful and aware that the way that the world is changing, sometimes you have to be able to adapt, adjust, be agile, and show up in a very mystique, different way, like a very different way. So that requires you to be true to thyself, be able to speak that truth and know from where you came. Like I said, no mud, no lotus, meaning without the dirt, you don't have anything that will grow into something that is beautiful, which is, for those of you who are going through right now, your highest self wants you to know that on the other side of that is beautiful, like almost envy from other people on how polished and well standing you will appear once it's all said and done. So there's a journey here for my Sagittariuses where you need to be able to take stock of yourself, be self-aware, identify any vices, triggers, anything holding you back. Make sure you are speaking your truth, grounded, firm, not having to yell it, scream it, convince anyone otherwise. And know that you are already a conqueror, Sag. And everything that you have been through and are going through will produce a very beautiful being. So that is your message. I hope that it helps. And until next time, peace.